So we're here today with David and Andy from Titanic Brewery. This is part of our 40-year celebration of Canalside Farm. So this is our May interview. So thank you for joining us. It's great to be in Titanic Brewery's bar. This is where you do all the tours, is it, of the brewery? Or
Yeah, that's right. So we're in the sample room at the moment.
Okay.
The brewery is the other side of this
Right,
room.
okay.
So we're in the sample room, and this is where people come when they come for a Titanic Brewery tour.
Okay.
So welcome.
Yeah, it's great. I've had my first sip of plum porter on a Friday morning at 10 a.m, so it's great. I'm enjoying myself so far. So let's talk a little bit about Titanic. So when did Titanic first start brewing its first beer here in Stoke?
So the first brew of Titanic beer was back in October 1985.
Wow, okay.
So nearly 40 years
that's
ago.
my birthday.
Same here.
38, yeah.
I never forget how old the brewery is.
Oh, I remember that forever now. Okay, 85. Wow, that's a long time.
Brews the time. We haven't always been here. So
Okay.
the first brew was in the back room of a pub called the Traveller's Rest.
Okay.
So the brewery started effectively kind of brewing in the back room of the pub. The first beer was a beer called Premium Bitter.
Yeah.
One of the original pump clips for it behind us here.
Oh, wow.
So Premium Bitter was one of the first beers, was the first beer that came out. We still brew it to this day though.
Yeah.
Under a different name, we call it Anchor these days.
Oh, it's Anchor.
so
Okay, I didn't know that. Yeah.
some of those early original recipes, Steerage is another one. Steerage is another early beer, and Captain Smith's as well, all early beers from the early days in the 80s.
Yeah.
They've been firm favourites for nearly 40 years now, so we brew them to this day.
Yeah.
And the nice thing is that initial pub was just, a stone's throw from here.
Yeah, really. Yeah.
Everything's sort of very, very local, very Burslem.
Yeah. And so it's still family run?
Still family run, yep. So brothers Keith and Dave Bott, they're at the helm, they run the business.
Yeah.
And Will, our head brewer, is Dave's son as well, so proper family
So-
business.
Yeah. Oh wow. Okay, that's great. And how did Titanic get its name?
So,
Oh, I get asked this so often.
Well, it's the biggest question when I said I was
Yeah.
coming here today. Everyone was like, Titanic, but you're not near the water.
As far from the sea as you can get.
So,
and this is exactly why Titanic Brewery has got its name. It's a little known fact that Captain Smith, the captain of the Titanic, was born and bred in Stoke.
Yep.
oh, really?
Next to, in fact, the house that he was born in is less than 2 miles in that direction.
Oh my God, I
It's a
never knew
really
that.
little known fact, and the wreck of the Titanic was discovered about 2 or 3 months before the brewery started. So it was the talk of the town. There was a lot of talk about it, and it was felt at the time that, you know what, it's a fitting tribute, and it's a fitting way to raise awareness of Stoke's connection to the two.
Oh, that's crazy. Yeah, I never knew that. You learn something new every day. And so what would you say, there's been so many achievements with Titanic. I can remember I've been at Canalside about 8 years, and I can remember you've been there ever since I started. You're sort of part of the furniture even then. But from then, there's just been so many changes and so many achievements for Titanic. Is there one that the business or you in particular are proud of, or is your top?
Champion beer of Britain.
Yeah, so 2015 that was. In
Yeah.
2015, our Plum Porter, which is our number one selling beer, that scooped the top prize for speciality beer at the Champion Beer of Britain Awards.
Okay.
So one tiny step away from being the overall champion beer of Britain
That's
that
just
year.
crazy, isn't it?
But it's such a great accolade to get.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh my gosh. And 10 million pints served.
Yeah.
Plum porter.
So Plum Porter originally brewed as a guest beer. It was a one-off seasonal. Keith brewed it thinking, do this as a one-off, and that'll be that. And that was back in 2011.
Oh, yeah, it's been there ever since.
And it instantly cult status popularity.
Wow.
People love it. It's a beer for people that don't necessarily like beer, or they don't necessarily like dark beer. It's perfectly balanced between the plummy flavours and just the bitterness and
Good,
hops.
nice finish on it, and it's the type of beer, because of that bit finish, you can just keep drinking it.
Well, I have to
without
say,
feeling too
I'm
sick.
not a beer person, and I've had my first taste this morning, and it's lovely.
Yeah,
Really easy drinkable.
It's the first thing people say when they see, this badge. They'll say, "Oh, Plum Porter."
Plum porter, yeah.
Very, very well known.
Yeah, very nice. And what's the best thing about working for Titanic and a family business, would you say?
Well, you did kind of mention it just there, that family business. You know,
Yeah.
everyone here is really approachable. Everyone gets their input in everything we do, and it's that sort of collaborative nature that
Yeah.
is what I really like about working here, to be honest.
Yeah, we all have job titles, we all have roles, but
Mhm.
that doesn't stop us mucking in and helping
Yeah.
each other out. You'll see Keith and Dave unloading the drays when they're returning empty casks. Everyone pitches in to run the shop, to help out with the tours. We all pitch in. We're all proud to work here and be part of the Titanic story.
Absolutely. I do recall my my induction day 7 years ago. I was brewing on the second day,
Yeah.
turning up at the crack of dawn. I think it was 5:30 a.m. thinking this will be an easy day, and Keith was there mashing up before I'd even arrived into the place. So he was there first thing, producing his product.
Yeah.
It's
I have to
wonderful.
say it's the same for us. You get roped into everything. There's things you never thought you'd be doing.
Yeah.
And my mother and father-in-law, Chris and Wendy, still come back, and they've been helping with planting pumpkins in this last week and things. And so it is that. I think it's that thing that's instilled in you with the family business that you just get on, and there's sort of no airs and graces about it. You just kind of muck in where you need to muck in, really, don't you? So switching it up to talking about us, what is there anything you remember about your first visit to us, either as a supplier or the customer?
Yeah, it's you go to quite a few farm shops, and they can at times be quite underwhelming with sort of not only just the range of products they do, but also the way in which they do it.
Yeah.
Like the pride that is taken. And when I first went to Canalside, I was kind of bowled over, really. I have a bit of a background in farm shops, so recognise some of those products, but to see them all put out with such care and attention, and I mean, particularly your cake selection was very rough at the time, so I'm trying not to eat too much cake. So it's beautiful.
It's hard to work there and not put on weight, to be honest, because the food is good. And have you ever been strawberry picking or anything at Canalside or anything like that, or heard about the strawberries?
I haven't. I've got friends who have, though.
Oh yeah.
Took their kids and they had a lovely time.
Yeah. I should have bought you some strawberries. They're just out now, so I should have bought you some. But yeah.
It's a great family place to bring in the entire family. To be fair, it's just there's so much to do and see and eat.
Yeah, and pick up some Titanic Brewery plum
Always.
porter while you're there. And lastly, we appreciate your time. We're going to have a quick whiz around the brewery in a minute, and there'll be plenty of photos to have a look at as well. But is there any exciting plans for the future? Anything that we could know before anyone else knows? Or
So we've got some exciting stuff coming up this summer. There might be some bit of a new look for one or two things coming soon.
interesting.
Can't say much more than
Okay.
that. We have got some great summer beers coming up, some special beers that really explore the flavours of different hops coming out. And we're opening a new venue as well.
exciting.
So we're opening a new bod cafe bar in Lichfield in July.
Lichfield, there you go, hot off the
So
press. That's exciting
there we are.
news.
Very
that's-
excited about
What
that.
number bod is that?
So that'd be our 8th bod.
8th bod.
So our bod cafe bars are all about bringing the best of a cafe and the best of a pub in one space. We opened the first one 5 years ago. They've proved really popular.
So 8 in 5 years.
So
That is
8 in 5 years, absolutely.
It's very exciting.
It's
Well,
actually where
thank
they
you
get their
very
name from, isn't it? Bodmin Avenue was the very first one.
much. Yeah, I know
It's
that
the working
one.
title, and it's
It's near
stuck.
us, that one. Yeah, yeah, we know it well. But yeah, that's great. Thank you. Very exciting, and thanks for your time today. We really appreciate
Cheers.
it.
Thank you. Cheers.
Thanks.